Welcome back to a new video. Today we are doing kind of a brand overview and first impressions. This is a brand that I've had a sample set of for several months, and to be honest I wasn't going to do a video. I did post on Instagram and YouTube posts about, do you want to see me do videos on things that I don't necessarily like that much, or would it be better to just not feature them? And over 90% voted that yes, you would like to see when I don't like something. So I just want to start the video by saying this brand is not my personal taste. Doesn't mean they're bad, it's just they don't resonate with me personally. So I'm going to try to do the most objective kind of reviews I can. In all honesty, these are just not for me. I don't resonate with these ones for different reasons, which we can get into in the video. But you might like them. Just because I don't like them doesn't mean that you won't. So take what I say honestly with a pinch of salt. It's what you like that matters. So I can give you what I get from it, and if you like the sound of the notes, maybe check them out. The perfumer for this brand is actually a chef by trade, and a chef turned self-taught perfumer. He's won a few different awards. He goes to the perfume shows, and from what I can see, he seems to be fairly well liked. Some of the YouTube reviewers do very positive, favorable reviews for him. And so, yeah, just like I say, just because I don't find them, attractive personally, there obviously is an audience that really do like them. So keep that in mind. The first fragrance we're going to smell today is called Pax. This is an extrait, and I will tell you the notes and the pricing. The pricing for all of these are 145 euros for the 50ml bottle, but they also do a 28ml bottle for 110 euros. The notes for Pax include citrus, pear, and passion fruit with black grape, pepper, magnolia, jasmine, and cardamom, black currant and incense, amber, Madagascan vanilla, leather, white musk, and oud. So when you first spray it, you get an immediate warm vanillic sweetness. There's a hint of the pear notes, so you get a slightly, fruity, sweet. Again, a little bit of the pear, quite sweet, warm, vanillic. So it's fruity, it's vanillic, it's warm, and it's sweet, and it's kind of thick and almost slightly creamy. This does remind me of other fragrances, and there's something about it that does come across a little bit, or I don't know whether this is just me, I don't know whether other people will agree. There's something in it that smells a little bit more like a masculine designer fragrance. It has a designer kind of smell to it, a designer quality. And that is a theme that I pick up through a number of these, that they give me impressions of a designer kind of fragrance. I guess some of the notes, some of the synthetic notes he's using in here are maybe just more frequently used in designers. I'm not really sure what the reason is, but I get the vibe of that as a kind of a designer smell. This isn't for me personally. I don't personally find this attractive, but if you like a more kind of fruity, sweet, creamy vanilla, like I say, with that kind of watery pear kind of nuance to it, then maybe you'll like this. Again, fruity, sweet, vanillic, kind of creamy. It's just not my personal taste, but maybe you'll like it. The next one we're going to talk about is called Black Sea, and the notes for this one are bergamot, myrtle, salt and ozone with aquatic notes, orange blossom, black salt, ylang ylang, marine seaweed, white musk, patchouli, oak moss, and ambergris. I think immediately you get a kind of an aquatic vibe, basically. You're going to get this salty, marine, aquatic, also ozonic, kind of airy, watery, salty, airy. There's just a hint of the citrus in the opening, but really it comes across as a simple aquatic kind of vibe. Actually, the style of this one I could imagine in an imaginary author's bottle for a reference in terms of what to expect quality-wise and blending-wise. This could be marketed in a, an aquatic, beachy kind of thing that imaginary authors might do. Think in terms of along the lines of falling into the sea, for example. This has, not that they smell the same, but you get the point that this could be quite easily an imaginary author's release. I personally, I don't find myself overly attracted to these kind of more aquatic kind of things. So again, this one isn't my personal taste, but if you do like that kind of marine-like vibe, then, maybe you'll like it, but this one isn't my personal cup of tea. I think the florals in this are subtle, but you do get a little bit, I don't quite get ylang ylang, I wouldn't say, but maybe a little bit of the orange blossom. But definitely more focused on that marine, seaweedy kind of vibe for this one. The next up, we're going to be talking about Dream Sea. And this has notes of aquatic notes, pink pepper and black pepper, ozone with green notes, white flower, rose and ylang ylang, spices, ambergris, black cypress, salt, sandalwood, cedarwood, and vanilla. This is another one that has a designer smell to it to me. It smells like a masculine designer fragrance that's more youthful. I could imagine this being in... I'm not even sure because I don't actually wear many designers, or any, to be honest, at the moment. Maybe put it in like a Prada bottle, for example. If this was in a Prada release, I don't think anyone would bat an eyelid. It would probably fit in fine and it would sell, and it has a designer feel. It's a little bit more masculine designer feel. It's a little bit sweet. It's a little bit rubbery, musky, but with this kind of skin-like feel to it. It's not as aquatic as the last one, but it has that kind of musky, ambery kind of vibe with these sweet notes underneath. And it's the sweet notes which make me think of a designer fragrance. It's the particular use of whatever he's using to sweeten these that seems to be a common thread through a lot of his fragrances, that has a designer-esque feel to it. And that's fine if you like a lot of designer fragrances. I grew up not liking those kinds of fragrances when I didn't know anything about perfume. It's nothing to do with being snobby. I never liked high street designer fragrances as a teenager when I knew literally nothing about perfumes. I didn't know niche perfumes existed. I thought the brands like Prada and YSL and all these kind of mainstream brands, I thought they were the kind of the best things that existed. And I didn't like a lot of them. They just didn't smell good to me naturally. And so it was very late in life that I started wearing fragrance, because I just didn't like most things that are on the high street. And this has a vibe of a high street store designer fragrance. I don't mean that to sound negative, but it's just the reality of it. It's just my opinion. You don't have to agree. Maybe some of you will agree, maybe some of you won't. But that's my honest opinion. This is not a negative point if you like designers, because you might like this a lot. It's just something in it that I don't resonate with. I don't find attractive personally, and that's how it comes across to me. There's just some element in it that has a masculine cologne-like vibe to it. Definitely cologne-y, masculine. It smells like a younger male audience isn't really into perfume, but is buying it just to kind of attract females, or for a night out, basically. And it's like 20-year-olds, basically early 20s, I would say. And that's just the impression I get from it. So yeah, this one isn't my cup of tea. That's the honest vibe. The next one is Van Pie Rhum, and this has pretty interesting notes. There's bourbon vanilla, Madagascan vanilla, tonka bean, Tahitian vanilla, Mohia vanilla, rum, island vanilla, white flowers, caramel patchouli, oud Indonesian patchouli, another kind of rum, and a black vanilla pod. There are 6 kinds of vanilla, 2 kinds of patchouli, and 2 kinds of rum. I do feel like this is, I don't mean this as a criticism, but I think this is part of brand embellishment. I don't think there's probably literally 6 kinds, there might be literally 6 kinds of vanilla. But from other fragrances, I do feel like the notes are embellished or exaggerated or made to sound more than it is. Maybe I'll explain why I think that later on with the fragrance that makes me think that. There might genuinely be 6 kinds of vanilla. I don't know, but yeah, I feel like the notes are a little bit more, marketing rather than literal. However, I might be completely wrong. It might be quite literally literal for that one. I'm not sure. But anyway, how does it smell? So you get a heavy, almost chocolatey vanilla. It's dark. Yeah, it's got this chocolatey kind of vanilla kind of vibe. It smells more like a unsweetened vanilla absolute kind of smell. Maybe with some like vanilla tincture. It's that kind of vibe. It doesn't smell like vanillin. It smells like a vanilla absolute with some vanilla tincture maybe. And it's got kind of a chocolatey nuance to it. I don't get much booze. I don't get really any kind of rum from it or anything like that. And you do get a pinch of a dark, slightly cooked kind of caramel tone underneath, a little bit kind of a burned caramel note, again with a chocolatey like vanilla. There could almost be a coffee in here, almost like an espresso kind of black coffee. That's the vibe that I get. I get chocolatey vanilla, maybe a little bit of coffee with a slightly burned caramel note underneath. Personally, I think it's okay, but I don't find myself, to be honest, I'm not attracted to it. I don't find it all that appealing personally. I wouldn't wear it myself, but if you like a more darker kind of vanilla, then definitely check it out if you like that. There's just, I don't know, I don't particularly find this one appealing all that much. It's very unisex, it's cold weather. If you want something a bit darker as a vanilla, like again, a slightly chocolatey vanilla, then maybe you'll really love this one. Not my personal taste, but I think, like I say, check it out if you like the notes. The next one is called Sweet Xplosion, with notes of lime, grapefruit, coconut milk, and white honey. Taif, rose, ylang ylang, argan oil, broom, davana, mallow, coffee beans, sweet vanilla, tonka bean, patchouli, benzoin, and musk. As you might expect, it is sweet. It's not ridiculously sweet, like Sweet Xplosion is maybe a bit of an exaggeration. It's not cloyingly, like, aggressively sweet. I think you get a little bit of that kind of coconutty vibe. The citrus there's lime and grapefruit. The citrus is mild. I think it's more of a hint or a nuance. It's not an explosion of citrus, so to speak. You get a sweet, a vanilla-y, coconutty. I'm not sure I get honey per se, but maybe a little bit. Yeah, like a sweet vanilla coconut with traces of citrus. The rose doesn't jump out. Taif rose is more of a pink rose, more fresh pink rose. I don't get a whole lot of that. I get more of a fluffy, soft, playful, almost fruity sweet, I would say, mix with a little bit of coconut, a bit of like fruity vibe, a little bit of sweetness. This term sweet vanilla, I think, is a good way to say it. There is a slightly interesting texture behind it. But then there's things like Rhum and Davana, which I've never smelled in the raw form, so I'm not sure how they, actually come across. For me, this one has a little bit of similarities to Dream Sea in the way that it comes across. Or the feeling of it. It's okay. I would say it's unisex, it's cold weather, it's casual. It's generally kind of sweet without really being too specific about what you're actually smelling. It's like a general, just kind of sweet vibe. And when I say coconut, it's not lifelike. It's like an abstract idea of, oh yeah, maybe a little bit coconutty, but it's not like actual coconut. It's an impression. And it's more suggested by reading the note list, I think, in a way. Yeah, it's a generally kind of sweet vibe that's easy to wear, kind of simple, but not too specific in a way. I don't know how to word that. It's vague. It's like a vague kind of pleasant sweetness. I'm not attracted to it personally. Very unisex. If you like smelling kind of sweet, then maybe you'll like it. This one just doesn't do much for me personally. I don't find this appealing or interesting. Would be the more brutal kind of honesty behind that one. There's nothing wrong with it. Yeah, it's not something I would wear myself. In all honesty, I think a niche collector would not be too interested in this one personally. But if it's someone that doesn't have much of a taste for perfume and they just like to smell sweet, this would be absolutely ideal for someone like that. But if you're a collector and you're more into more artsy kind of niche fragrances, then I'm not sure this is going to do much for you personally. The next one we're going to talk about is called Evil Angel. And this has cashmerean, well, it says cashmere wood, I'm presuming it's cashmerean, tropical fruits, Roman absinthe, mint, fruity notes, petitgrain, citrus, rain notes, lime, musk, and oak, another rum accord, cedar, coconut, a name I don't know how to pronounce, robinia, cinnamon with whiskey, isoe, super, sandalwood, vanilla, bourbon, vanilla, tobacco, cedarwood, and myrrh. So there's a whole mix of things going on in this one. What I get from this is a synthetic watery fruit note, which I'm not keen on personally. Without going and checking, because I don't use these materials myself, but it's either a material called dew fruit or passion fruit base. I feel like it's probably dew fruit. It's been a while since I smelled them. But dew fruit has this tropical fruit smell that's very watery or aquatic. It's like a wet, watery, tropical fruit. Doesn't smell real, it smells like artificial. So that's what I get from this, is something along those lines of this, like I say, watery tropical fruit kind of vibe. It feels like it's kind of quite, not overdosed, but strong. It's like the main driving force for at least the opening notes is a full-on explosion of that kind of watery tropical fruit smell. Personally, I don't find that particular note in perfume attractive. It's not a scent that I like the smell of personally. That isoe super is giving it this kind of woody, musky kind of bubble on the top of it that you can smell. It's not appealing to me. Again, if you're kind of a niche collector, then I don't think you're going to resonate with this. Again, it reminds me a little bit of Imaginary Authors, and there is an Imaginary Authors that does use that watery tropical fruit note. So again, this could be like Falling into the Sea by Imaginary Authors in terms of that. So this one, not for me, not my personal taste, but if you like that kind of tropical watery fruit, then you might really like that one. It's very unisex. It would be good for the summertime, hot weather, and spring. As I mentioned at the beginning of the video, the perfumer is a self-taught perfumer, but by trade he's a chef. And so he made one called Carbonara. And Carbonara is inspired by, not specifically to smell like the carbonara pasta, but to smell like sitting at a restaurant with loved ones and family and eating together and enjoying food and, you know, glasses of wine and, you know, just a nice environment. That's kind of the inspiration for this one. And the notes include pink pepper with black pepper and elemi, coconut smoke, Malabar pepper, jasmine, davana, and rum again. He likes using rum in a lot of these. Amber, cane sugar, bourbon, vanilla, oud, and sandalwood. So what I get from this is a ton of black pepper, a pinch of something smoky, and kind of a sugary note. So it's kind of a sugary sweet thing in the background, some kind of burny smoky kind of smell, and a whole lot of black pepper. I can't emphasize enough how strong the pepper is. It's extremely, very much focused on black pepper, to the point where I personally wouldn't wear this. I don't find it wearable because of how much pepper is on there. And if we can equate it to a meal, he is a chef. If this was a meal and it was served to me, I wouldn't be able to eat it, because it's like the whole carbonara's, like the whole thing's literally covered in black pepper, and it's not enjoyable to eat anymore because all I can taste is the pepper and I can't taste the pasta. That's what's happened here, is I can't enjoy the rest of the perfume because all I can smell is pepper. And so, yeah, this, I would have had to have sent that back if it was a meal and say, can I have it, please don't put any pepper on it next time, or just a very light touch. That's my honest feeling on it. If you like strong peppery fragrances, then you might love it. For me, this is just way too much on the pepper. It's too strong. So again, it's peppery, it's smoky, it's a little bit, you got a sugary kind of sweetness behind it. But the pepper is so overwhelmingly strong, I can't enjoy it. I don't want to smell it for too long, because it's just intensely black pepper, and it kind of just ruins it for me personally. I find it difficult to know who to recommend that to, because it's not masculine or feminine, it just smells like pepper. So, I mean, if you like it, you know, fair play, but it's not, to me, it doesn't smell like perfume, it is literally black pepper. So that's my least favourite from the brand. I don't know how to talk about that in a way that's, I'm trying to do it very objectively, but at the same time being honest. I'm not going to pretend I like something if I don't, but I don't want to be mean or cruel about it. It's personal taste. For my personal taste, that's way too much on the pepper. Some people are going to like it, some people are not going to like it. For me, it's a strong, hard pass. I'm sorry. That's the most critical I'm going to be out of all of them. That's my least favourite from the brand. So, and again, it's just personal opinion. It is personal taste. Other people might love it. I've not actually read any reviews of that one, so I don't know what the reaction is from other people. But that's my opinion. The next one is called Adam and Eve's Dress. This has notes of bergamot, setimbrino fig, white peach, green notes, green fig leaf, black fig leaf, jasmine, tuberose spices, fig wood, fig milk, sandalwood, musk, and precious woods. What I was mentioning earlier about an exaggeration in the notes and more of a marketing thing than actual reality is this point, that in perfumery there is no such thing as a fig note. You can't get an essential oil, you can't get an absolute, you can't really tincture it, you can't do anything with it. So fig in perfumery is made of a synthetic accord that you build an accord around, and the main element of that accord is a material called stemone, which is what I smell in this. I've used it myself. It's a great, beautiful smelling synthetic, and it's what creates the vast majority of fig accords. It's embellished a little bit with other materials, but the main milky kind of fig smell is stemone. So when he lists multiple kinds of figs, like setembrino fig, green fig leaf, black fig leaf, fig woods, these are all kind of fantasy notes, just to give you a painted image in your brain of a more romantic way of writing perfume notes. It's not literal. So these are, you know, like I say, fantasy accords. In general, what I'm smelling is a big dose of stemone. it's a milky fig, and it's a good fig. If you like fig, it's really strong, figgy, milky green, and a really good option if you like fig fragrances. And it's enhanced by green accords, green notes. There's probably a little bit of things like cis-3-hexanol in here. I'm not going to get too technical, but he's used green notes, he's used stemone to create a milky fig with green notes. The overall execution is very pleasant. If you like fig, I would say definitely check this one out. You might really, really love it. This is very nice fig scent. It's more of a green, leafy, milky fig. And the last one we're going to talk about today is called Sun-Gria, or Sun-Gria. I'm guessing it's a kind of a take on, is it sangria? Is that a kind of drink? I don't drink, so it sounds familiar, sangria. Anyway, it's called Sun-Gria, and this has notes of red, orange, and mandarin, lemon, bergamot, green notes and ginger, cinnamon, clove, pink pepper, apple, black currant, peach, raspberry, red grape, wine, rose, cardamom, sugar, vanilla pods, tonka, benzoin, sandalwood, patchouli, musk, birchwood, cedar, and amber. What I get from this is something that smells like a child's bubblegum, fruity bubblegum. It smells like Haribo. Is it Haribo? No. What's that brand of bubblegum called? God, I've not had bubblegum in such a long time. I forget what the brand name is. It's a specific branding. Maybe I can find it after the video and put it on the screen. It literally smells like children's bubblegum. It's got that artificial uber-duper fake fruity candy smell, basically. But yeah, this is bubblegum. This is children's bubblegum. That's what you get. I don't know how to address it in any other way. And it's a bubblegum smell. It's fake, artificial fruit. I don't mean fake in a bad way, but I'm trying to get the point across that bubblegum has that very, again, fake, artificial smelling, candy, fruity, sweet thing that it literally, bubblegum has its own smell. This is bubblegum, so I think I got the point across. For me, it smells more feminine. It smells quite youthful. This is not attractive to me. I'm not keen on this. I wouldn't wear it myself. I wouldn't want a partner to smell like this. It smells like children's bubblegum. If you like it, it's kind of playful, and you're a bit younger, then this would be amazing for you. This is something that I would give my, 9-year-old niece. She likes to wear perfume. I would give her something like this. It just smells like a child to me. It's feminine, it's bubblegummy, it's childlike, it's very hyper sweet. I don't know. If you like that, if you like the smell of bubblegum, you'll love this. It's just not my cup of tea. I don't find it attractive. I don't find it appealing. So this is one of my less favourite smells, to be honest, in the range that he has here. But if you like that kind of thing, obviously it would be great. So that's it. That's my overview of the brand. Altogether, this is not a brand on a personal level that I resonate with. I don't find his style of blending, it doesn't fit me. I don't find myself attracted really to any of these. There's nothing that I would want to wear myself properly. And I almost didn't do a video because I wasn't quite sure how to approach this in a video, because these are just not my taste. I'm not attracted to them. I don't find them appealing personally. But if you like the sound of the notes, maybe check them out if they sound appealing to you. This one is definitely a pass for me, but I'm glad I got to try them. And it's always interesting to smell other people's work. Some I like, some I don't. This one is, not for me. But please let me know if this style of video is okay, if you're happy with my, I don't want to say criticisms, but I try to be very transparent and honest when I like something and when I don't. And I don't want to say that I don't like something without giving you a reason why I don't like something. Some of these have a designer feeling to them, which I don't personally like. And again, there's just something in those materials that I've never been attracted to for my whole life. When I knew nothing about perfume, I didn't find certain things that just don't smell good to me. And they have that kind of vibe. So you know, there's certain aspects where that's a problem. Just in general, this whole style is not my cup of tea. Like the aquatics things, I'm not really into that. And the kind of sweetness that he's using, I'm not a fan of for me. So it's a combination of reasons, but yeah, there you go. Hopefully I did it in a way that is where you can understand and appreciate it. And yeah. Recently I created a playlist for anyone that is interested entitled Fragrances I Like, and within it so far is 128 videos, which is over 20 hours of playtime, of positive reviews of fragrances that I genuinely liked that I would recommend to people. And there's 128 videos to go through. That's a lot of fragrances. I'll be adding to it over time. But there are lots of fragrances that I have reviewed that I have liked and given good reviews to. I find it quite disingenuous to the people who pretend that I'd never like anything. That's simply not true. Please do watch the 128 videos that would prove you wrong. And sorry, but that does annoy me when I hear that. I got it recently, and it wears me down. I've reviewed lots of fragrances that I like, so I just find it just lazy and disingenuous. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed the video. Sorry for the little complaint at the end there, but sometimes it gets to me. We'll see you soon. Take care, have a good day, be kind to yourself, and we'll see you soon. Goodbye.
Old man Harlem gives me Sunday headache, but that old man Harlem keeps me rolling.